Hey y'all, it's Necey Dixon. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, welcome. This glass is empty because I'm about to pour it, okay? But if you're returning, y'all, welcome back. If you're returning, then y'all know we just hit a new milestone. We just hit a new milestone, y'all. We finally got to 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, okay? And for that, y'all, we're going to pour up. We're going to pour up this brunch. Usually I come to y'all with my glass already full, but I had to pour the glass with y'all this Sunday, brunch morning. And I love, I like to call the members of my channel hashtag Necey Hive. Y'all literally are Necey Hive. Love y'all, okay? And I think I might have another exclusive link for the members tomorrow. So y'all stay tuned. But shout out to Necey High. But as for the rest of us, I feel like my channel has been built around these Sunday brunches. That to me has been the most fun, the most exciting part of the week on YouTube has been these Sunday brunches. So I think that us here should be called Brunch Squad, Brunch Bunch, something like that. Y'all go ahead and let me know. But I'm excited for many, many more brunches with y'all. So let's go ahead and toast to 10,000 subscribers. So thank y'all for that, even the ones on replay. So I wanted to come and talk to y'all about our good TV shows. Y'all know how we do today. We talk about Ready to Love, but we always have to start it out with the pregame, which is Ladies Who List Atlanta. Ladies Who List Atlanta, to me, I feel like is a really good show. I feel like we can spend a little less time on Ladies Who List, and I can tell y'all exactly what I think about the hot topics. And then we'll go on to talking about Ready to Love. But let me go ahead and say hello to those of y'all who are joining me on Sunday, okay? And happy Super Bowl Sunday for those of y'all who watch football. I don't. I'm there for the wings, strictly. Okay, for the wings, and I guess the halftime performance. So that'll be a cute little kiki as we, talk later on this week. And I'm also gonna let y'all know what I have coming up this week. So hey, Alicia, hey T, hey Rel, what's up? Kimberly, TT, hey Sephora, Amethyst, Carrie, hey girl. Oh gosh, I love seeing some of y'all who have been here literally since since I had like less than 1,000. It's crazy thinking about the whole thing. But let me let y'all know, I feel like to celebrate the 10,000 subscriber milestone, on top of me calling y'all hashtag Necey Hive, on top of me being like, okay, we friends here, I want to show y'all that we are really friends. So the wedding is coming up. Okay. And we less than 2 months out from the wedding. But I'm about to be getting into bachelorette festivities. And I have convinced all of my friends, my bridesmaids, to participate in this vlog. We're going to set it up with a little confessional room. And I'm going to record everything for the whole weekend. And I'm going to turn it into a cute little episode, a cute little reality vlog of a weekend of one of the most exciting times of my life, which is getting all my friends together for the bachelorette. So we have a little while before we go on the trip, but then I have to edit it. So it'll be a little while. Give me like a month for everything to play out. But I hope that y'all will be excited about the bachelorette vlog, because some of y'all like to know about like the personal stuff that goes on. So I hope that y'all end up enjoying that. Yes, okay. Real Housewives of Necey. Yes, okay. It's gonna be on some not no bolo type stuff, but it's definitely gonna be a cute little real, the Real Housewife theme. Okay. So I'm excited for y'all to see that. Okay, so what we got coming up this week. This week, I've been telling y'all for the past week that we're going to review Tinder Swindler. That's going to happen this week, okay? I'm hoping I'm going to watch that show by Monday. Look for the review for Tinder Swindler Wednesday. Wednesday, we will go live and we will review Tinder Swindler. Now, The other show that I'm picking up is Love is Blind. Love is Blind. Look for that review no later than Friday. I will be reviewing the first 5 episodes. So y'all go ahead and watch the first 5 episodes on Netflix, and then we can come on here and talk about it. Okay? With that being said, y'all know what to do. Like the video, and we'll go ahead and get into Ladies Who List. All right, y'all. So, Ladies Who List, to me, I think it was a pretty decent episode, but I have to say, Robin. Okay, y'all tell me if y'all were like me. I got invested in the shit. So I felt myself disliking Crystal even more on Robin's behalf. I thought we was done with her, Robin. Like I probably wouldn't have went so hard and been so deep in my feelings if this is something that y'all do all the time, because me and my friends would never. She would never be my friend. So I just want to know, okay? I have plenty of questions to ask you. On one side, we always see where Crystal is claiming, "You're my sister, you're my best friend." And then on the other side, I've never heard you call her best friend and never heard you call her sister one time. So to me, and maybe that's my toxic ass Scorpio trait, it ain't nothing to cut her off. And I feel like I would have done that. But honestly, y'all, I think for the sake, I feel like it's probably put Robin in a hard position to cut Crystal off because of who Crystal has positioned Robin to be within the friend group. Okay. Now, y'all let me know if y'all are following. Crystal has found a way to antagonize Robin. Everyone knows that Robin does not have the best of female relationships. And what better way to prove everyone wrong than to act like you just go with the flow? Is that what you're doing, Robin? Because if that's what you're doing, then I understand. Because, like I told y'all, I have been in that situation before 100,000 times over. So, y'all, the episode starts out with Robin and Crystal sitting down in Kiana's party. This is after Kiana already told them not to talk. And it seems to me as though they're both looking for apologies. Crystal, girl, y'all, let me take a sip of Crystal's tears real quick. We do not care. Crystal wanted to be a victim so bad in this situation. And even in the way that she carried on the conversation with Robin, in my opinion, seemed to be a bit antagonistic. That's just me. So as they're talking, they both want apologies. And, they get into disagreements over who's right, who's wrong. Now, Alicia says Robin and Crystal are just alike. I've been hearing that more and more. I really have been hearing it more and more. But maybe it's like the bias in me to where I can see more of where Robin's coming from than where Crystal is coming from. I don't really see as much badness in Robin as it is in Crystal. I'm sure they both have toxic traits. But for me, I can appreciate somebody who is transparent and saying, "Hey, I'm effed up. I'm effed up because of this. And this is how I act. If you do this to me, I will pop your hand like a child," versus Crystal trying to gaslight just as she did in this conversation. So, Crystal, this is what I mean whenever I tell y'all she really found a way to antagonize. She was just like, "Let me say what I have to say, Robin. Let me say what I have to say." And Robin's like, "Okay, say what you're going to say. Let me say what I have to say." And I'm like, "Girl, say what you're going to say." So Robin gets up as if she's going to walk away. She sits back down only to hear Crystal out. And Crystal's like, "Can you just think about me for a minute?" Robin is still trying to explain to her exactly what she did wrong in that situation. Crystal doesn't want to think about what she did wrong. Crystal wants to highlight how she felt as though she was a victim in this situation as well. Robin is smart enough to see through the bullshit, because Robin took me all the way out when she said, when you were being messy with Queen Kiana and Princess Kira. This goes to what I have been feeling this entire time. Kiana has the fashions, Kiana has the face, and she very much gives that she's in charge of the girls. That's why Kiana was so easily able to beef with Robin without really beefing with Robin. Kira was beefing with her on her behalf. So whenever Robin said queen and princess, I was like, Robin, you see through it all, but you're just going to play the game. Okay. I'm just going to wait and see. So Crystal keeps saying that she was only trying to console her. And of course, Kiana walks over and she's like, dinner's about to start. So you ladies can handle this outside in the courtyards. That was a polite way of saying, I see Robin standing up and sitting back down. I'm about to carry on. Take this shit outside. This is my event. I told y'all not to discuss it. Go outside. And I busted out laughing when she did that in the most cute, nice, nasty type of way. And yes, y'all, at this point, I have heard multiple times that Kiana has quit the show. Don't know why. I heard that it was because she thought that she was portrayed in a bad light. I don't think so at all. I think they showed her to be beautiful, fashionable, in charge of the girls. They've shown her with her fertility issues. I think they showed her to be very multidimensional. So I'm not understanding why Kiana is saying that unless she thought that the show was going to be different than what it is, which is Robin seems to be the main character. Robin's giving main character energy. Crystal also. Crystal's kind of giving best friend of the main character energy. Friend of me. And I don't know if Kiana thought that she was signing up for something different. So who knows, but whatever. So to my surprise, Robin continues this conversation outside with Crystal. It was beyond me, okay? The conversation would have ended right there. We would have been done talking about it. Crystal kept trying to gaslight and make Robin feel responsible for ending the friendship by saying, okay, you're done. So if you don't want to talk about it anymore, you're done. You're done with the friendship. Crystal to me seemed every bit of a toxic ass ex-boyfriend during this conversation. Oh, so you done? Oh, so you just gonna throw it away like that? Yes, Crystal. Get away with me. Get away from me with this in my favorite voice. Like, Crystal, I cannot. So they go to the courtyard. Crystal is easily caught up in a lie, saying that she had no idea that Kiana and Robin had beef before you got to the event. You knew very well. And shout out to production for showing the flashback, because whenever Kiana was telling Crystal about the beef before the dinner, that's when I first started looking at Crystal a little bit sideways, because she seemed to get excited about the potential of the dinner blowing up in everybody's face. So I'm just like, yeah, girl, you a lie. Hey T. So T says, so according to the ladies, production edited episodes after they collectively asked them to highlight things other than drama, and that's why we saw Q's personal story. Interesting. Interesting. Hey J Dub. Hey Sam. Yes, celebrating. So next, y'all, Crystal she continues to gaslight her. I'm your sister, yada yada yada. And I think Robin just gets tired of the tussle. So Robin just calls it a day. And in the confessional, that's where she says we do it all the time. And I'm just like, I wouldn't have went so hard. And intentionally, I didn't go hard on Crystal on Twitter because I was just gonna let the streets do it. But one thing that I find hilarious is I tweeted something like almost a week ago or almost 2 weeks ago about the show that was relevant 2 episodes ago. And every week that the episode airs, the tweet starts getting more traction again because we keep seeing the same shisty, sneaky shit from Crystal every week. So that's hilarious. Another thing, y'all go ahead and follow me on Instagram and Twitter if y'all want to see my thoughts on the shows before I come on here and talk to y'all on Sundays. So next, y'all, we see Robin spending some time with her clients. But what we really get from this entire meetup is she gets a FaceTime call from her mom, her sister, her niece. And this is what I didn't like. Y'all tell me if y'all caught this drift. So when the season first starts, we're under the impression that Robin is completely incapable of having a female to female relationship because she's been abandoned by people in her family. You get the drift that, she don't talk to nobody in her family no more. And it isn't until after her and Crystal make up again that we find out that her relationship with her family is a work in progress. That was weird to me. And I feel like the positioning of that information was to make us think that maybe what Crystal was saying was true. Am I thinking too hard about it? But I just thought to myself, like, it's real funny how y'all don't want to talk about this till now, but okay. So we find out that Robin's relationship with her family is a work in progress. And it seems like she's already been growing and working on those friendships or relationships, better yet. So, whatever. Next, y'all, we see Tiana. I love Tiana. I always want to call her Princess Tiana. She's so tall and pretty. But we see her with her client, Quinita. And remember, y'all, Quinita was the one who had this big modern, like townhome type of thing, a contemporary 3-story home that a guy had put an offer in on. And I told y'all I thought it was too high. I don't know what it is, but with a lot of these townhomes, they look aesthetically pleasing, but they look small. Some of them look small, in my opinion. And y'all, I don't know, also chime in. Is that just my perception? Y'all know how they say everything's bigger in Texas, okay? Everything's bigger in Texas. But with some of these townhomes or houses or whatever you want to call them that were into the millions, the bedrooms seem to be the size of like a standard home. The bathrooms seem to be like an apartment bathroom size. And I'm specifically speaking about whenever we saw B. Simone looking for the home. I know that the condo that B. Simone was looking at was over 2,000 square feet, which is really good for a townhome. But to me, I don't know. It just didn't seem to be that spacious. Who knows? So anyway, we get to see a little bit of a ranch home where Tiana is taking her client to go see it. And this really excited me because I don't know if y'all know, but I love old homes like 70s, 80s, 60s. Like I like old homes where you can go in and make modern updates because I feel like, I mean, while I do love the suburbs, while I do love the burbs, I feel like every single new neighborhood looks like house A, B, C. And whenever you go into the older neighborhoods, you get different builds. Everything looks different. The floor plans are going to be different. And then once you go in and you just, throw some backsplash up, you paint the walls, put some wood flooring down, you got a custom home. So I really enjoyed seeing the ranch home. So again, y'all, I already told y'all about B. Simone and the house. Yes, hey J Dub, he says I've seen the mansions you can get in Texas with land for 500,000. Well, okay, that was pre-pandemic. Ever since the pandemic has happened, the prices of homes have almost gotten in line with the rest of the nation. It's ridiculous. All these people from California and Chicago and everywhere else moving down here and raising the value on our homes. Okay, that's a whole nother conversation. But Texas, yeah. So next, y'all, besides seeing B. Simone look for her townhome, which was beautiful, but to me, it was just tall and small. I'd much rather have something that's a little bit wider, or I don't know, bedrooms could have been bigger, whatever. So next, y'all, we see Tiana and Tiffany having some playtime with their kids. And that's where they start having a conversation about the next event. So anytime they talk about the next event, y'all know it's some beef that's about to come with it. So both Tiana and Tiffany's birthdays are around the same time. So the whole ranch house gave her the inspiration to go, do some hot girl shit, okay? Some stallion type stuff, go ride horses with some of the other girls, but not all of them. So she decides it would be a good idea for themselves, Tiana and Tiffany, to spend some time with Kiana and Robin horseback riding, Libras only. They did not want to invite Miss Kira. They did not want to invite Crystal. And y'all, Tiana and Tiffany are my favorite on this show. Of course, with Robin as well. But Tiana and Tiffany intentionally did this, okay? They know that Kiana was the one with the beef. Kira was the one with all the bark. Kira was beefing on Kiana's behalf. Kiana sat there and she reveled in that shit just to see Robin have to answer to people being upset with her. Meanwhile, she held her and Robin's beef to have in private. So, Kira, you're not needed in this situation. Crystal, definitely want you to come because we see how you like to operate. So, Libra's only type of event. Next, y'all, we get to see Crystal and Robin meet up again. And this time, I'm just like, ugh. This time it was really irritating me because I cannot with Crystal. I just cannot. Robin just did a really good job pushing that shit to the back of her head and moving forward. So Crystal comes through like a toxic ass ex-boyfriend with some flowers, and she wants to cause a scene and make her feel special after showing her ass. And she starts talking about the things that are going on in her life. She starts talking about this guy who is in poly relationships who she's interested in. Y'all, we seen her do this last episode. I told y'all my thoughts on Crystal being in a polygamous relationship. Hey Karen, welcome. So, my thoughts on Crystal in this poly relationship. No judgment to people who decide to do it, but in my opinion, Crystal, you don't have the security or the self-confidence to be able to navigate through a poly relationship, in my opinion. It's given very much this 4-year relationship that you were in before it didn't work. Now that you're creeping up in age, you want to adventure off into other things, and you seem to think that a piece of a man might work for you. And I'm going to tell you it doesn't. This entire season that I've been watching, I don't know how many episodes we're in at this point, but I've seen nothing but insecurities, just radiate off of Crystal based on the way that she interacts with the women, based on the way from the jump, y'all. Remember, she didn't even want to pique an interest in this female brokerage that Robin was coming up with, if Tiffany was going to be an additional closing attorney. She wanted to be the only closing attorney. So it's like, okay, to me, that screams insecure. Next, we also seen her lightweight get into this weird competition with Tiffany as well, where she went after Kira to try to get some of Kira's closings. So just that, coupled with you trying to antagonize Robin this entire time, to me is screaming insecure. And I don't think the math is going to math for that, Crystal. I don't think that a poly relationship will work, but that's for you to figure out and for me to watch on TV. So she finally asked Robin to go with her to this poly party because it didn't work with Kira before. Robin starts Googling, trying to figure out what exactly a poly relationship is. They have discussions about, is it better than cheating? And Robin is like, I guess. She's not completely against it, but in her mind, she believes all men cheat. So she's like, well, if somebody's going to be open with you about multiple relationships, I'm here for it. So they end up making a deal. Robin says, if you talk to Tiffany, then I will go to the poly party. So they end up making that arrangement. But Crystal says she just feels like Tiffany doesn't like her. And this is where she also says that I don't know Tiffany at all. Now, if y'all been watching from the very beginning, earlier in episode 1, Crystal said that she knew Tiffany because they went to high school together. She also reached out to Tiffany to try to get all of her business while she was pregnant. So, is it that you don't know her at all? Or is it that you have some type of weird competitive nature when it comes to Tiffany? And I think that's exactly what it is. I told y'all exactly how she acted about Robin suggesting that both of them work on the same brokerage with the women. So I'm like, yeah, I'm glad that Robin peeped that Crystal definitely has some sort of envy towards Tiffany because I see it as well. Now, the other thing that, you had to get from this dinner was that Crystal was trying to gaslight and convince Robin that everyone around them was the problem. This is where she says that Tiffany is only friendly to people who she can get stuff from. And I'm like, bitch, pull up a mirror. Pull up a mirror. We have been looking at you this entire time, Crystal, and you have moved in a way to where you try to get things from people. You're nice to people when you want things from them. You wouldn't have went and had all those kikis with Kira unless you wanted her business. When the episode first started, you said you knew Tiffany. Now you don't know Tiffany. Now that Tiffany has admitted to you being wrong in a situation. So, girl, whatever. Finally, y'all, we get to the final scene. The final scene is the 4 ladies going horseback riding. And when I say, is it 4? Yeah, when I say 4 ladies, we're talking about Libras only. So the ladies who go horseback riding are Robin, Tiana, Tiffany, and Kiana. And when they do, it seems like they having a cute little time or whatever. And then Robin, this is where I was lightweight confused. Robin suggests to Tiffany that she should have a sit down with Crystal because she's not sure if there's weird energy there. So this is what I don't like. Robin, Tiffany spoke out on your behalf at the dinner situation because she saw your friend, best friend, sister, whatever Crystal wants to call it, treating you like shit. You then have dinner with Tiffany. You further discuss mental health challenges. You further discuss your relationship with Crystal. And Tiffany lets you know that she's in your corner. Now that you go and you make up with Crystal, you want Tiffany to do the same? This is why I don't get involved in people's beef. And this is what I'm talking about when I say toxic ex-boyfriend vibes. This is what I'm talking about. It was almost as if Robin got dogged out in front of her man. So then Tiffany was like, you ain't gonna talk to my girl like this. Girl, come with me. And, she vented to her friend, only for Robin to be like, oh, yeah, we back together. And Tiffany, like, okay, what that got to do with me? And Robin's like, well, I just want you to be cool with him since we're cool now. This is why I don't get involved in people's beefs, specifically relationships. This is not typical of a best friendship. So I wonder if Tiffany is just like, girl, why the fuck did I get involved? So Tiffany lets her know, like, I don't know Crystal to have beef with her. So that's number one. And then Robin is in full agreement. But I can't, be rooting for you and telling you your friend ain't shit, only for you to be like, hey, you need to fix your beef with my friend. There's no beef with me. I'm just letting you know, bless your heart, couldn't be me. And I think that's all she was doing. So, Robin is in agreement, letting Tiffany know, I know you don't know her. I don't think you have beef with her. And she just says, people without kids don't understand that we don't have time for beef. We got other things going on. Then all of a sudden, out of the woodworks comes Kiana. You shouldn't say people without kids. I hate when MFers say that. It has nothing to do with that. Kids don't change the value of a person. And Robin's like, I'm not talking about you though. And Kiana said, but you are, because I'm people. Now, if there was ever a better time for someone to use the word triggered during the season, this was it. 100%. She was triggered. Okay. So, Crystal, where are you when we need you? Crystal, we need you in the background going, triggered. Kiana, I think you're triggered. I'm just saying you're triggered. And Kiana was triggered. I don't think she was talking about you. Robin even corrected herself and said most people. And yes, while being a parent does not change the value of a person, I think that it's one of those things where you don't know until you actually have kids. And I think that's what Robin was saying. There are some things that I cannot relate to. I do not have children of my own. And it should have been just that. But because Kiana has shown her fertility challenges on the show, I think it's clear why she was triggered in that moment. So we'll see what happens next week. Next week, they even start talking about Crystal some more. And I'm not really sure if Kiana is here for the conversation, but I'm excited to see Kiana have to stand on her own. And if you want to beef, just say that, because Kira isn't the one who's going to be able to continue beef on your behalf because she's not there. Crystal's not going to be able to make Robin the villain because she's not there. So I would love to see Kiana keep that going if that's what she wants to do. So y'all already know what time it is, okay? It is time to get into Ready to Love. Hope y'all enjoyed the pregame. For any of my mods in the chat, if you feel it in your spirit to go ahead and time mark this portion of the video for the people who are watching it on replay, I would greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate it. And for those of you who are joining just in time for Ready to Love, I'm going to have to toast to y'all one more time. I'm going to have to toast to y'all one more time because we just hit 10,000 if you missed the beginning of the video. So clink, clink, sips. All right. We about to get into Ready to Love. Go ahead, like the video, and then we're going to get into it. Halfway, this is my personal commercial. This is my platform to be talking about all kind of random stuff. Because I know some people be like, just get into the video. But no, I have to self-promote. Okay. So this week, what we have coming, something tomorrow that I can't tell y'all, and that's going to be for members only. But if you're not a member, you'll find out later on. Tinder Swindler on Wednesday, and Love is Blind review no later than Friday. Of course, Married at First Sight on Thursday. Sorry if that's out of order, but you should at least be getting 3 drops this week. If you don't have your notification bells turned on, be sure to follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter, and all that other good stuff. So go ahead, like the video. When we come back, we'll hop into y'all's favorite show, which is Ready to Love. All right. Y'all came just in time. Harold, I see you done entered the chat. Hey, Naturally Mar. Shout out to y'all who have been here for a minute. Okay. Shout out to y'all who've been here for a minute. The other thing that I announced, if some of y'all are just now joining, is that I am going to be vlogging. Y'all gonna get a episode of Real Housewives of Necey Dixon for my bachelorette party. So look out for that. So I will have that dropping for y'all. It's gonna be a vlog. But now it is time to get into y'all's favorite show, which is Ready to Love. So this week, y'all, we start out in the ladies' lounge. We see Tommy with the ladies, cute little ladies' lounge. Y'all, I always find it so funny that y'all might not know, but they be listening. They be listening to these conversations that we have over brunch. And I don't know if y'all remember 2 seasons ago when I was reviewing this show, I was like, why is the ladies' lounge always outside? Why everybody got to be sweating their leave outs out? Ever since then, y'all have definitely put up some protection against humidity when it comes to the ladies' lounges. So I'm glad to see, and I'm always reminded every time I see this. So they introduced Carmen to the rest of the ladies. If y'all weren't here last week, go check out that episode. Go check out my review. Carmen was the lady who thought that she could lead with a big booty and blue eyes and long hair. And I'm just like, I didn't like Carmen. I have to be real with y'all. I did not enjoy Carmen last week. The blue contacts was too much. The I got real hair off top was too much. Black girls can have long hair. You don't have to keep walking around wearing that as if it's a badge of honor. It's almost equally as annoying as the women who go, oh yeah, I used to have long hair until my mama permed it and now my hair about this long off my head. Girl, we don't need it here. It's almost equally as annoying as every non-melanated person talking about, yeah, when I was born, I used to have blonde hair and blue eyes, and I don't know what happened. Now my hair is dark. We do not care. We do not care. And that's what I was getting from Carmen. So this week, yes, we saw her without the beauty supply contacts. And you too funny. Without the blue contacts. And this week, the activity that they are faced with is to do an activity that's true to yourself. I didn't really see anything I didn't see very much this week that was giving me a true to yourself. Whatever Tommy said, do an activity that's true to yourself, I thought that we were going to see the men doing yoga with Ace. That's just me. So again, we are surprised to know, yes, Nana, yes, I got Indian in my family type of comment. That's exactly what it is. I know you can't tell, but we got Indian in us. That's what it was. That's what it was, girl. So we get 2 additional new singles being added to the mix this week. One man, one woman. And I like this. I like this factor on the show instead of bringing them all at once, just bringing them in at a time. I was wondering if the show was going to end early. I was confused, but it looks like they're just going to keep adding singles. So we'll probably get the same season that we always get, the same number of episodes. So the person who is tasked with introducing the first single to the group is Dakia. So Dakia ends up going on a date with a young man named Eric. Eric is a celebrity chef. And I'm doing the fingers because that's what he did himself. He said, I'm a celebrity chef. And I was like, what does that mean, Eric? Does that mean that you've cooked for a few celebrities, maybe once or twice? Does that mean it's something you regularly do? Do you travel? Do you put celebrity chef in the bio? Like, what? At what point do you go from I'm a chef, I'm a professional chef, to a celebrity chef? But I ain't gonna press you on it, okay? So, what we find out a little bit more about him was that he was a preacher's kid. His parents are still married. He was actually married at the age of 18, but obviously that did not work out. And it's okay. I ain't gonna judge you, Eric, because being that you were a preacher's kid, you probably was. I feel like people don't want to say it, but a lot of those people who are strictly brought up in the church, they just be ready to fuck. Okay. I was trying to find a way to say it. They just be ready to fuck. Okay. So a lot of their relationships are not prolonged. So they end up sometimes rushing into commitment so that way they can have sex in peace. Okay. Nothing in their heart will be, messed up or anything like that. They'll feel good about laying up in peace because they've committed. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. But that's why I'm saying that I'm not going to judge Eric for him being divorced. So they found out that they had a couple things in common, being that before Eric was a chef, he was actually a systems engineer, whereas Dakia is currently a systems engineer and she owns her own dance studio. She got money, okay? So Dakia also lets us know that she is a cancer survivor. And the other thing they have in common about that is that his uncle is currently in remission. So he really is admiring her for her being a survivor and everything that she went through. So she lets us know furthermore that she has cervical cancer. So with that being said, she says she's open to kids. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, she's fine. She's 39 years old. So at this point, she doesn't necessarily know if it's going to happen or not. Meanwhile, Eric has two girls, 21 and 23. They grown. She's open to kids, but Eric is kind of the same way. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. So for that reason, they have a connection. Dakia really likes him. Now, y'all, I have to say this. I think Eric is a likable guy. I think he's a likable guy. But what I saw here is typically what I've seen of the men who come on the show later on. We've seen this with Sean from last season. Sean forced a connection with Aisha, even though they didn't have the same goals in life, because he was just trying to get his foot in the door. Then we see Cornelius really acting like he was vibing with Ace. But then we find out later on that Cornelius really isn't even interested in commitment at all. So the people who come on the show later on, they're up against relationships that have already been curated. So I wasn't completely sure if Eric really liked her or if Eric was just trying to get in where he fit in. Who knows? He does make it clear that, hey, I like you a lot. You're the first person I met. And she's like, that's fine. You ain't got to meet nobody else. So I want to see how Eric maneuvers through the rest of his relationships before I actually judge him. But so far, I don't have nothing bad to say, Eric. So I guess you done made the cut, because usually on Sundays, we got something to say, especially in the beginning. So next, y'all, the new lady that we get to see, her name is AP. She goes on a date with Clifton, and she's giving Ace vibes because she is a holistic life coach. She does yoga. You see her, a life full of peace. We find out that she is widowed. She has taken 3 years to really just focus on herself, health, and well-being for her to be able to get back out here in these streets. Okay. So now she's very much ready to find somebody. So she gets to go on a date with Clifton. I was excited to see her go on a date with Clifton because contrary to what we saw today or the other day, I always felt like Clifton was for everybody. I did. And I wanted to see Clifton enjoy. I wanted to see friction in their relationship, y'all. Just as a viewer, not on no messy shit, but I feel like Clifton and Joy, they're doing what I typically ask people to do on the show, which is date. But I just wanted, some drama. I wanted to see if Clifton was going to find someone that he liked just as much as Joy. I wanted to see if Joy might find somebody that she liked just as much as Clifton, but I don't think that happened this day. So while Clifton and AP are talking, their initial comments to the confessional is that they're both attracted to each other. That's what they both say in the confessional. Now, this is another thing that we find out about Clifton that I didn't know before. They start talking about children. Clifton has a 17-year-old and a 3-year-old. I was like, the baby's kind of fresh. The baby just started walking not too long ago. The baby just started talking, Clifton. That's a little too young for my liking. He lets us know that he was married twice. So the next question that comes to me is like, okay, were you married to the 17-year-old's mother or somebody else? Or, okay, let's say you were, but were you also married to the 3-year-old's mother as well? And if you were married and now you've been divorced for a year, don't tell me y'all didn't got a divorce when the baby was nothing but 2. Red flag. I don't know. To me, I thought it was. I'm just like, wrong road. Wrong road. I don't know. But I didn't know that about Clifton. We only knew he was divorced once. He lets us know that he's been divorced twice. So, yeah, they both have kids. But the thing that was the red flag for AP, it wasn't that he had a 3-year-old. And that's the thing. I don't think I could be no stepmama to a 3-year-old. If I was with a man who had been married before or had children from another relationship, I would love for those kids to be almost double digit. I'm saying like 8 and older. 7 and older is the youngest. I would love for those kids to be double digit. I would love for that part of your relationship to be done in the past. There's no both of y'all newly trying to figure out what it's like to co-parent. I don't want to be there for that. I don't want to be there for that. I want that to be done. So while the red flag wasn't the 3-year-old, the red flag for AP was that Clifton looked like her brother, she said. She said they had the same they had the same shaped face, which I thought was funny. And I'm like, AP, what's your brother look like? Clifton is a handsome man. Hey, brother. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Either way it goes, y'all, that part threw me off. So ultimately, because of the brother comment, Clifton says that there's no love connection for him. It just seems like they could get along at the cookout. I don't know if AP is going to find that relationship here. So we see the first group date. The first group date that we see, the attendees are Dakia, Eric, the new guy, Ace, Joy, and Cornelius. Now, there were really 2 conversations that stuck out to me. Eric and Ace, they have some conversations. You know, he says that she's a cool girl. We see Eric and Joy. Joy really caught his eye, and Joy seemed to be interested. And I really like Joy. I do. I have to say, in the first episode, when Joy gave her a glass of champagne to Clifton, I thought that she was going to like try to mark territory and be like, I don't want you talking to nobody else. But she hasn't done that. She's been able to date around and allow Clifton to do the same. So I do enjoy Joy. Now, we see Cornelius talking about his cat that has passed away. Rest in peace to the cat, PIMP. But yeah, okay. Cornelius, I'm not feeling you, and I'm gonna tell y'all why I'm not feeling Cornelius, okay? So the other connection that we end up seeing, hey Gigi, thank you, is Dakia and Cornelius. So Dakia, she says she's 39 years old. She's okay with having kids if it happens, but if she doesn't, that's fine. At this point, y'all, we already know her cancer survivor story. So she probably doesn't think that kids are in her future, but if they are, she would just be, feeling really lucky and blessed, right? So she says if she does have kids, she wants a family. She wants that commitment. And this fool Cornelius, let me go ahead because it's probably one of the few times I'm going to use it this episode. Cornelius says in his confessional, I get the vibe that she wants to be committed. So I got a little hesitation towards that. Cornelius, why is you here? Why are you here? The show is called Ready to Love. I wanted to light his ass up last episode when he got Tiffany sent home. Well, number one, Tiffany was going to be sent home anyway, okay? But the reason for him wanting to send Tiffany home, in my opinion, was bullshit. Oh, she hit her hand on the table and said, I want a husband. And what? And what? Is it something wrong? Just as much as you want to be for the streets, she could just as much want a man to come home to every night and a ring on her finger. I'm not understanding why you see someone coming on a show called Ready to Love, where you go on single individual dates, one-on-one, and ultimately at the end, you decide to choose one person. I'm not understanding why you see commitment as a turnoff. What did you come on the show for? What did you come on the show for? I'm not understanding. The deep voice, the it's not gonna make it worth it, okay? There's plenty of teddy bears on this cast. We got Clifton, built like a damn teddy bear. We got Laverne, built like a damn teddy bear. Now we got Eric. There's plenty of meat in this game, okay? Cornelius, the deep voice, is not gonna cut it. I'm not understanding why. I'm not understanding. Sephora. Okay, Sephora, you friends with Cornelius? She says, I promise y'all, Cornelius is a really nice guy, but my friend is looking crazy on the show. Girl, I'm glad you think so. And if Cornelius is your friend, tell him to come on by. He can talk to us in the Ooh Ladies First panel, because I want to know, Cornelius, what did you come on the show for? I don't understand. You could have just kept doing what you was doing. You could have just kept doing what you was doing. You could have just kept swiping left and swiping right. Come on. T says ready to fuck. Yeah, I get the feeling that Cornelius is ready to lay up. And what I hate, Rennie. Rennie says, I think production found Cornelius shopping at Home Depot and asked if he wanted to be on the show. Facts. That's what it's giving. That's exactly what it's giving. I don't understand why, but we'll get to it, okay? So next, y'all, we see Paul and Sabrina going on a date, which I thought was a hella weird situation. I definitely thought Sabrina was going to be that girl of the season. We still got plenty of episodes left where she may come to be that girl. Y'all know editing likes to make us see certain things the way that, they want it to be shown. Harold says he came to sow his wild oats. Yeah, right. So this was a weird connection, Paul and Sabrina, especially being that we found out that Sabrina basically gave Laverne the cold shoulder, and Laverne is handsome, but Paul, I don't know. So she says that she was interested in getting to know him better. So he's telling her about all my life I had to fight. All my life I was an entrepreneur. All my life I was basically Instacart before there was Instacart. I would take people's grocery orders and I would bring them to their house and they would pay me. Okay, is this a job interview or is this to get to know you? I don't know. So either way, Sabrina says that she is concerned with Paul, that he's always in go mode and that she needs somebody to calm her down and really focus on the present from day to day. And she feels like Paul is going to be one to rev her up. And I get that vibe for sure. Harold, I have to agree with you. Paul gives Creep Squad vibes to me. I think it's the way he looks. I think it's not the way he looks, the way he looks at you, the way he kind of talks like this, and the way that he is so aggressive in his approach when he talks to women. And I don't mean physically aggressive. I mean, he really has this coachable, hardcore ass nature about the way that he speaks to women. He doesn't really, to me, it doesn't seem like he talks to women like they're fragile, like they're feminine. Let me take care of you. He talks to them very much like, I'm gonna push you. And now I'm gonna push you to be better because this, and you need to answer this question. Yes, it's a condescending tone. Yeah, I'm not understanding. So this is the other thing that I didn't really like. And I have to say it like that. because it was awkward. He like does these things and then he asks a question, and something to me just feels like it's out of a playbook. The way that he interacts with these women feels very much out of a playbook. Not so much to the point to where we saw Corey's clown ass last season, but he seems very playbook. So after they have a decent conversation, he ends up asking her, let me ask you something. Do you think that I have some of the qualities that can make you happy? Sabrina, shout out to you, girl, because you were honest with him. You didn't even play with this man. You was real direct. And I feel like Paul is the type of man to where if you would have told him, I don't know, let's see, or I'm not really sure. If you would have gave him a halfway answer, if you would have gave him a half no, he would have kept advancing. So Sabrina just says, honestly, no, I don't get that vibe from you. There's a lack of spark. And she says, it's more of like a friend or a mentor vibe. And when she said mentor, I started laughing my ass off because that's what he looks like with her. He looks like he could be her mentor. There's no relate. It looks like Paul, get a few more grays in that beard and y'all will be looking like father and daughter. So when she said that, I was just like, oh. So shout out to you for keeping it all the way 100, Sabrina. So next, y'all, we go on from that date to we see AP and Joy going bowling with some of the best looking men on the show. So there's AP, Paul, Laverne, Demetrius, and Joy. And when AP arrives, she already says, okay, we're here with the handsome queen. So she's just happy to be here, handsome kings. So she's just happy to be here. So we see Laverne and Joy flirting. Laverne is very much a flirt, and so is Joy. So I never even thought about the two of them being a combination because I always just think about Joy and Clifton. But when I saw them talking, I was just like, this could be cute. This could be cute. The only thing is, Laverne just seems like he's for everybody. So I don't know. They both joke a little bit. Laverne talks about the type of babies that they would make. The babies would be looking so good. And, they end up agreeing to go on a date. So that's something that I want to see in the future. We don't really see much from AP on this date at all, and she's new. So I feel like she's going to be one of the girls that comes on the show and then she's off the show. I don't think that her love is going to be here. So now, the next date. The next date, y'all, is Tori with the locks, Demetrius, bald with a beard, dark skin, Wiley, the youngest one on the show, Sabrina, and AP. This was an awkward ass date because there's an uneven amount of people and y'all were sitting on the bus like that. Like, Demetrius would have been better off sitting on Sabrina's left side, on her left shoulder, and having Tori on the other side. That way he could have talked to Sabrina at the same time as Tori. I don't know, it was just awkward. It definitely felt like Demetrius just threw the towel in. AP was equally as disappointed that Demetrius was sitting in the back of the bus because she wanted to talk to him more than Wiley. Now, AP and Wiley are giving auntie vibes. Wiley, I feel bad for you because typically what we see is the show, and we've complained about this before. I'm saying we because I'm talking about the conversations that I have with the ladies on Thursday. I specifically have complained that we always get older men and you get a gang of women who are in their mid to early 30s and men that are almost damn near touching 50 on the show, but you don't see anything in reverse. So now that they finally gave us this reverse, now that we finally see Wiley, who's the youngest guy on the cast, he's even younger than Sabrina, who I think she's the youngest, he can't get no play. He can't get any play because all of the women are either they already have kids, they're divorced, they don't want to have no more kids. And Wiley is just like your best friend's little brother having a crush on you. And that's the way they're treating him. So eventually, as you know, cool as Wiley is, as handsome as Wiley is, he gonna end up going home for sure. So Wiley and AP had a conversation. She was being very short with him. She said that he reminded her of one of her students. We see Sabrina and Tori connecting, but it was awkward because Demetrius was sitting in the back of the bus. And just like Rennie said, Demetrius looked like he was thinking about the emails that he had to answer on Monday. I don't know what he was thinking about. He was just sitting, looking around. He didn't get, involved in any type of conversation at all. So I don't know. Honestly, y'all, the women enjoy looking at Demetrius too much because he's tall, dark, and handsome with a beard. Too much to where he wasn't going to be in the bottom this week, even though he maybe should have. I knew he wasn't going to be in the bottom at all. So let's move on. Sabrina said that she wanted Demetrius to fight, but he chilling. So now Joy and Clifton finally get to go on a date. And to me, this was like surprising because we see them together so much that in my mind, y'all already a couple. In my mind, I feel like we've seen y'all one-on-one, which is a good thing for y'all because that means y'all's connections are so strong that even when y'all are on group dates, we still get the one-on-one vibe between the two of y'all. And y'all tell me, like, did y'all feel like this wasn't our first time seeing their first date, even though they said that it was? I felt like it was. So he ends up tasting her food. The food has coconut in it, which he is allergic to. So he ends up sweating like a damn racehorse. And he says, you know what? It's fine. Let me see this. Nana, she says, but you did mention Necey. He seems like he likes to be chased. We did say that a long time ago. We did say that a couple episodes ago when it came to Demetrius, for sure. So, y'all, Clifton ends up having an allergic reaction. He's sweating. And he ends up calming down. He's like, you know what? It's fine. I'll just get hot. I'll just sweat. But, it's nothing serious. So he says, unless my heart stops or something like that, I'm just going to keep going because this is how important this date is to me. I'm like, wow, you really tripping. So they kept going on the date. They both have a good, I would say intimate conversation about their fathers. Joy was raised by a single dad. She said her dad got custody of them when she was 7 or 8 because her mom, I forgot where she said her mom was from, but I was just curious, like, did your mom leave? Did your mom have to go? Like, I'm not understanding where her mom went, but that's not what this show is about. Either way it goes, she was raised by a single dad. And I wasn't really surprised by that. Joy is beautiful, but she has the type of personality where she could like joke around with the boys seamlessly and not have an issue at all. Thank you. She's from Trinidad. Yep. She has the type of personality where she could get along with the guys, and it makes sense since she was raised by a single dad in the 80s, she said. And Clifton said that he could relate to her loss of her father because he lost his dad when he was 23 years old. So you can tell Joy still kind of gets choked up about it, but she says that it's something that they don't talk about often because they both have stored it away. And I was like, damn, that's really, really sad. But I'm glad that they could connect on that. So Joy says, you know what? Oh, really? J Dub says people can't. No, Joy absolutely has masculine energy. And the funny thing is, people think whenever they hear masculine energy, they think that means you walking around like you think you're a dude. No, masculine energy just means like you got masculine energy. I don't know how to explain it. You can seamlessly get along with the guys, but you're a lady at the end of the day. But you're not so much, oh, divine feminine. I just don't know anything. I'm not privy to how men think at all. And yeah, I'm like, I don't know why they came for you, J Dub. But yeah, Joy says to Clifton, I see myself in you. And Clifton says, well, I see some parts of me inside of you. And the amount of corny 40-year-old jokes that we have got this season has been hilarious. Even to the point of Tori talking about you trying to have something touch your kidneys. I'm just like, y'all with these jokes, these inappropriate, like, that's what she said, type jokes, is a fool. I'm just like, okay. And I don't know why everybody keeps joking with Joy like this. I feel like we keep seeing it with Joy. Laverne had a very sexual type joke with Joy. Tori a couple episodes ago, and now we see Clifton. So I'm just like, okay, sure. So next, y'all, they leave from that day, and then we head back to the ladies' lounge. So now that we're in the ladies' lounge, the women announce who their connections are. Who are you feeling? Who are you not feeling? So as far as who the people are feeling, Ace says that she's feeling Laverne, Joy, Clifton, Carmen, Clifton. Now, y'all, I had to stop right there. Carmen, Clifton. Go ahead, pack your bags, Carmen. Clifton don't want you. From what he was telling us, he couldn't even look you in the eyes a couple episodes ago. So unless you and Clifton have been having conversations besides what we've seen, have your bags packed up because this ain't it. So I was shocked whenever Carmen said Clifton, who he very much said he wasn't feeling her like that. So Sabrina, she says that she's feeling Demetrius and Tori. Keep in mind, she says Demetrius number one, Tori number two, even though Demetrius was sitting in the back of the bus looking like a damn fly on the wall. Precious says that she's feeling Paul. Pack your bags, Precious. Pack your bags, Precious. You and your bang. Pack your bags. I feel like Paul is low-hanging fruit. I've explained this before, so if you're new here, let me explain it one more time. On this show, it gets to a point in every single season where people will just try to get in where they fit in. They'll try to make connections where there are no necessities to be a connection. They'll try to say that they see something that's not really there because they're trying to grab low-hanging fruit to stay on the show longer. Precious, I don't know if it's the editing, but we haven't seen you foster relationships with the people who seem easy to talk to. There are other men who seem easier to talk to than Paul, but for some reason he's your favorite. To me, it's giving you don't have very many relationships, so you're just grabbing low-hanging fruit. Let me know y'all's thoughts on that. So Dakia says that Eric is her number one, the new person, Clifton and Demetrius as well. As far as who they're not feeling, AP is not feeling Wiley just because the age difference is too big. Let me read y'all's comments on Precious. T T says, I forgot who the hell Precious was to the lounge. Jen says, not the bang. Yeah, she had the bang. The part was over here. That's that 2007 bang. The emo. The emo bang. Now, let's see. Yes, Nana, she did end up looking goofy. And next week it seems like she will too. Thank you so much, J-Dub. Paul is the low-hanging fruit. Anybody who would say that they had a connection with Paul, that's just low-hanging fruit. Girl, it ain't nothing there. Yes, Harold, you're right. What happened to Precious' connection with Tori? She had a connection with Tori. So what happened? Interesting. Swoop, swoop, bang, rawr, rawr. Y'all killing me. That is exactly what she looked like. Okay. So, y'all, let's move on from there. Who else? Dakia says that she's not feeling Laverne and Cornelius. Carmen says that all of a sudden Laverne is texting her with negativity. And I need more details. Tommy, please ask, what is the negativity that Laverne has texted Carmen with? On top of that, I think Dakia said that Laverne was messy as well. So what's happening behind the scenes that we're not privy to? Because we could take the extra drama. We could take the extra drama. What are we missing? I'm not sure. So Ace, she says that she is not feeling Paul. They're polar opposites. Ace is peace and love. Paul is chaos. Paul seems like the type of man to me that would literally just irk your nerves for the sake of irking your nerves to see how far he could push you and then be like, see, I knew you was gonna do that. Just my opinion. So Joy, she says that she's not feeling Cornelius and she's not feeling Paul. Sabrina, she's not feeling Cornelius, she's not feeling Paul. And this is where Precious feels the need to speak up. Precious then starts speaking positively on Paul, saying that even though he's not your cup of tea, he's an acquired taste for me. And that's why I like him. In other words, he's the only connection I got, and he's low hanging fruit. And without him, I'm gonna go home next week. So, girl, Paul is fine until I find another connection, in my opinion. So we get to the elimination dates. We see Precious on a date with Paul. And in her confessional, she was like, I've never felt anything like this before in my life. Where? What are you talking about? Like, this is what you want? It seems to me like the relationship is very one-sided. Precious needs this relationship to keep her foot in the game, whereas Paul is still riding the fence for a couple of the women on the show. So I don't know what you're talking about. You ain't ever felt like nothing like this in your life before. It's like Paul ain't giving. He's not giving nothing. So Joy is on her date with Cornelius as well. So Precious and Paul have a conversation, and he's saying, you know, even though the women say XYZ about me, I'm just different. That's just the way I am. And if the women have an issue with it, they need to look in the mirror and see what's wrong with them. He's not being receptive of any feedback at all. And the reason being is because he thought his ass was about to go home. So Precious says, I think the ladies are wrong. I think the ladies are misled. Girl, please. It was giving pick me, Precious. All of the women are not wrong in the way that he handles them, in the way that he handles his relationship. From jump, the way that he handled the conversation with Ace to me was inappropriate, regardless of if he's just like an acquired taste. You still don't just say to somebody, oh, I don't think you tried in your marriage. You don't speak on people's marriages, whether they are still together or not. I'm just like, Precious. She was trying to fuel him into believing I'm in your corner. I like you. Even though the other women are saying that, you know, you're an asshole, I like you. I like assholes. I'll stick with you. It was given, pick me, pick me. I'll be your number one because you're my number one. Pick me. And he then proceeded to act like an ass. And then she ended up saying, your journey is still continuing. And then when you get to the confessional, he then says, you know, maybe I should self-reflect in what the ladies are telling me. Yeah, maybe you should. But you didn't take a step back and say, maybe I need to do something different until you found out you had another week on the show. So now we get to Joy and Cornelius, and Joy is just very much like, chop, chop. Let's not waste no time. Your journey is over. And Cornelius goes, gotcha. So you're done, Cornelius. Cornelius, whatever you were looking for on the show was not going to be here anyway because you weren't looking for commitment. So I was actually very excited for Cornelius to go home this week. And Sephora, if you want to get your boy on over here so we can ask him some questions about what exactly he was looking for, I love to talk to him for a quick second. Because I had a couple questions. He made a comment about $1 million ain't a lot of money. So I'm wondering, like, are you a millionaire or have you made $1 million? I also wanted to know what his previous relationships were like. He said he was close to marriage, but now you seem anti-commitment. So what's going on? I'm not understanding. Really, Keisha says she honestly rather cornbread had stayed over Paul. No, No, I was ready for Cornelius to go home first. Because you have people like Precious who would tolerate Paul. At least Paul acts like he wants one relationship. Cornelius, I don't know what he is on here for. Thank you, girl. I don't know what he is on here for, but hopefully we find out. So Cornelius ends up going home. All right. Y'all, happy Super Bowl Sunday. I ain't got too much for y'all, okay? Y'all be sure to follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter. Shout out to all 10,000 of you. I'll see y'all later on this week as we get ready to discuss Tinder Swindler, Married at First Sight, Love is Blind. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter so you can get the notifications because YouTube be tripping sometimes, okay? And then my gift to y'all is my bachelorette vlog, which will be dropping in probably another month. So with that being said, I hope y'all enjoyed this review. Have a good Super Bowl Sunday, and I will see y'all later on this week. Bye.